In Focus is powered in part by Go Chevrolet at I-25 and the Boulder Turnpike. Your source for new or used cars and trucks, and reliable service for most makes and models. GoAutoChevrolet.com.
Welcome to In Focus with Eden Lane.
It's that time of year again. We're here on the red carpet at the Alley Calkins Opera House for the Starz Denver Film Festival. We'll be meeting some of the filmmakers, actors, and local filmmakers who are featured in this year's festival. A Late Quartet was the opening night red carpet film with an unexpected Colorado connection.
I grew up in Lakewood.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm now coming back with the movie and releasing it, and then my family and friends are here, so this is very cool.
And you're bringing your lovely wife
I'm bringing
with
my
you.
wife, who's not from Colorado, but we're adopting her into the Colorado Society.
I
wish I were.
You wish you were?
Yes.
What does it feel like if you grew up here to come? Your resume is extensive.
Oh, thank you.
And it's not just a long resume, but there's really quality work on that resume.
Thank
and you're
you.
bringing a film to us tonight. What does that feel like to come to this festival?
First of all, I will sit here and take credit for every movie that I've ever released, but
You're supposed to.
there's some pretty amazing filmmakers behind those movies.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect example of that. This director, Jeroen Zilberman, and this is his first feature, his first narrative feature. He directed a documentary before this, has assembled this cast that I kind of can't get over, that I'm working on a movie with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Catherine Keener and Christopher Walken and Mark Ivanir, who people don't know, but they will after this movie.
Well, yes, I think they will. I
yeah.
got a chance to see your
Oh,
movie
did you?
ahead
Good.
of time, and
Yeah.
I really loved it.
Yeah. And you know what I think too? I think that, I moved to California and everybody associates Colorado with the Broncos, which they should, but also with bike riding and hiking and, riding a horse and whatever else we get to do here because it's so beautiful. But I like that we're associating Colorado with kind of very high-end, beautiful movies like this. And I know there's an audience here for it because I grew up going to this stuff with my mom, and it was harder to find than it is now. And the festival's done such a great job of bringing movies like A Late Quartet to Colorado that I'm just overjoyed to be here and be a part of it. So.
One of the things that goes on at film festivals, aside from seeing great films, is the networking and
Sure.
socializing and maybe even a little shopping for filmmakers.
Absolutely. It's nice to see kind of the up-and-coming people, and I think I just met people like a third my age who are apparently Colorado filmmakers, which is awesome.
We don't have to say that part
Okay,
about their
all right,
age.
all
Yeah,
Well,
but
that just
you're
means
12.
they're 8.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, it is definitely a good place to, especially for movies that maybe don't get the attention on the national level or get the attention on the national level but need to be kind of brought down to a broader, wider audience. I think it's a great place to do it. And we'll watch a lot of movies while we're here. And
So you're going to stay and see?
yeah, for a few days. I mean, I'm unfortunately very upset that the Broncos are playing in Cincinnati instead of Denver this weekend. I timed the festival completely wrong, and we'll work on that next
Maybe
year.
next year, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's I'm so excited to be here. It's really great.
Is there a film that you maybe read through in the guide that you're particularly looking forward to?
Other than A
Other
Late
than A Late
Quartet?
Quartet,
Yeah, I
of
guess
course.
I think there's a lot of stuff, and nothing kind of comes to mind right off the bat. But it is a very deep slate that they've built here, and I think there's going to be a lot of things that'll be surprising and fulfilling and very cool. So excited to check it out.
Are you going to get to do any other activities while he has you here?
Gosh, I wish I could, but I'm leaving tomorrow morning.
So
I
you
know.
come just for this red carpet
Work
night?
beckons, yes.
Well, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
returning to Colorado, and this film is really beautiful. I know
Thank
they'll
you.
love it.
Great. It's good to meet you. Thanks for having me. Take care.
We're happy to bring you a brief look at the opening night film, A Late Quartet.
Tell me what you think.
I think we should run the tests first.
Well, with Dr. Nader, this difficulty I've been having, Parkinson's, she says,
Parkinson's.
I'd like the season's first concert to be my farewell. And it's best for the quartet to plan ahead. We begin with Beethoven's Opus 131. It has 7 movements, and they're all connected. For us, it means playing without pause.
I love playing with you. You can't lead a quartet, man. You're not sufficient.
You think you're better?
Not motivated. It's you just.
No resting, no tuning.
Do you think it was fun growing up with 2 woven quartet players with parents who were gone 7 months of the year?
I did the best that I could. I tried to be a good mother to you.
Our instruments must in time go out of tune, each in its own quite different way.
I love you more than anything in the world. I made a stupid mistake.
Was he maybe trying to point out some cohesion, some unity between random acts of life?
Do you really love me, or am I just convenient?
What is it that you want? What is it that you want me to tell you?
What are you afraid of? Unleash your passion.
What are we supposed to do? Stop? Or struggle to continuously adjust to each other up to the end, even if we are out of tune? I don't know.
In Focus viewers can get complimentary tickets to a special screening. Details are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/infocustv. Now we learn more from one of the stars of the film, Mark Ivanir. Well, welcome to Colorado, and we saw your screening last night, and I had seen it before without an audience, and it's so much better with an audience.
I have to agree. I saw it the first couple of times without, and I was a little worried when I saw it with people, reactions and everything is much better.
One of the things that we're going to have to address right away is that all of you actors had to learn to play your instruments in some fashion, or at least to be able to simulate it. What was that like for you when you only had 10 days to prepare for the role?
Well, I had more than 10 days to learn the violin, because the way they set it up is that the final concert of the movie was shot in the final 3 days of the shooting. So we had 7 weeks before we got there. So for 7 weeks I was working on my violin, but I was working very hard because, as you say, I only had 10 days before the principal shooting of the movie started, and it was a daily 3 hours a day for the whole 7 weeks. Excruciating. When I was Skyping my family who's in LA and I was in New York, I was constantly playing the violin, which until now, a year and a half later, the girls they have bad, that's the trauma, that's one of the traumas of their childhood, me playing the violin, or trying to play the violin.
You said last night that they even muted you.
Well, there was one instance when they were having a dinner and watching TV, and I was playing, and I thought I was talking to them, and then eventually I realized they muted me.
and some of the scenes, like in the rehearsal, there was a little bit before that last scene. Did they also schedule that at the end so you had time to practice?
No, some of the, I think the first rehearsal that we have, it was one of the first shooting days, but we did, I mean, it's incredible when your schedule is very, very stressful, how our system adjusts and is able to do it. I mean, I remember 4 or 5 days when I came. I was working in Toronto, doing something else when I got the offer for this part, and I started working on it in Toronto. They got me a violin, and I had the first few notes that I had to play. I started playing. So when we came the first time we had to play together, I remember Phil looked at me and said, "Hey, it sounds like something." That's and I was surprised it was. So, and at the end of the film, the 7th week when we were at the Metropolitan, and we were playing, and the director came to us and said, "Look, try and I will just have the camera going, and I want you to try and with the playback play as much as possible." We kind of did it. We faked it, of course, but it sounded, or it looked good, because I think your body gets into this mode where you can. It's like, you know, there's an accident and someone is under a car, and you have the adrenaline gives you the power to lift the car. It's basically the same thing. It's kind of an accident in motion, in a way, was the whole playing sequence, but it looks, I have to admit, it looks good. When I look at it, I'm kind of convinced that
It does look good.
I was the first violinist in a Bangladesh philharmonic.
Yes. One of the things I appreciate about this film, though, is sometimes when actors take on the challenge of learning to play an instrument, for example, that becomes so much the focus of the filming to show off what the actor was able to do that it takes you out of the story. Or if they don't learn it, we see cutaways, and that can take you out of the story. I think they struck a really nice balance with this.
I think I have kudos to Yaron, the director. I think in many ways he managed to walk this. It's a thin line on this movie on many aspects of it, and being able to walk this line and not stray away from it is a big achievement. As you say, the music is one of them. The balance is really, really nice between the music, the playing, and the drama or melodrama.
That's the most important component, is that the story is the reason we want to see a film. We want to see the story, we want to meet these characters. And it is a melodrama, but it's not over the top. The fact that it is a melodrama, it would have been very easy to step over as well. A melodrama has that sort of negative connotation. But this is done with such perfect balance. It's a mathematician and a musician's approach to that kind of story. Tell me about that as an actor.
Well, first of all, I'm a big lover of melodrama. I think melodrama is, and for centuries, that was one of the best forms of art, of theater. I think in the past 30, 40 years, it became anathema, how do you say it? It became kind of negative, as you say, which I don't think is true. I think good melodrama, I think Sidney Lumet is a very good example of someone who, most of his movies were very, very well done melodramas, including the last one with Dustin Hoffman, which was an amazing one, something with the devil. Anyways, it's. I think this one is Yaron very skillfully walks this thin line between something that is a very good melodrama and something that could have fallen into the slate of a Lifetime movie / soap. Because the components are there to go either way, and I think again the balance. And you've mentioned he is a physician, a physicist, and a mathematician, an MIT graduate who he knows how to build things. The blocks are there, very, very sturdy and well placed. So when you work on something like this, you're confident that you're in the right hands.
It shows in the work. The actors, you're portraying this group of people that have been together since their early college days, and it's a family.
Yeah.
And you're able to let us peek into that and see the flaws of each relationship and each character very easily without overdoing it. Tell me about, since you had so little time to prepare, tell me about attacking your character that way.
I remember one of the moments, the first moments that I, it was mostly fear, because it was a really late quartet for me. The offer came 10 days before the principal shooting started, as I've mentioned. Wonderful cast, and out of all four of us, I'm the least prepared. All other three members of
Playing
quartet.
the character that's the most prepared.
Exactly. Well,
yes.
thank you. Yeah. So it was that. So I have to face these three wonderful actors without any preparation or very little prepreparing. I have to learn.
Who are all known for improvising too.
Who are very good improvisers. Me having English as my third language. Boarding on fourth, so and then to play the violin as a first violinist of a renowned quartet without even seeing a violin from more than 6 feet away before. I think in many ways what I tried to do is, well, first of all, I tackled the violin issue by just working my ass off. I was trying to, that was every free moment was that, to get myself into a position where I can be, at least feel that I'm close to look like I know what I'm doing. It was interesting. As an aside, I had 3 or 4 different teachers, because you can't have, these people have lives and we didn't. so they had
Because
to go
actors
to
don't have lives when you're working on a project.
It was I'm there all the time. So we alternated. They would just send more and more people, and there was the last guy who came, incredible. He might be from Colorado. I'm not sure. He was, in an interesting way, we kind of found this twist, because with the first people, and it was the right thing to do, we worked on the technique of how to do it, how to hold the bow, how to the fingering. At that stage, when I could do some of that, he came in and we started working on the aspect of the performance. And then I've realized more and more into the last 2 weeks of the shoot that I can kind of cheat by body language. I mean, so if the music is, so instead of thinking how do I do this, if I go with the music, it works better. And hindsight, I look at it, yeah, when you get into the thing, it doesn't really matter, and people won't be looking at your fingers.
You have to abandon your self-consciousness to the music the same way you do to the role.
Yeah. And the other thing about how I approached the role was, I think I was trying to get him as close to myself as possible within the frame of the part as it was written. So the being a technician is something I know from myself, from how I work on my parts, on the being very detailed and trying to get everything as perfectly as I could. So I think in this sense I was trying to pull any information about myself and apply it to Daniel. Other than in a few things we had to change the part because of that, the direction of the part. And there was something about detachment. The part of Daniel is a very detached person, emotionally and even physically. He's kind of to himself. Not
down to his wardrobe, it's all perfect and
it's an amplification of myself in a way, but it's something that I know the grain of it. I know with myself.
Well, it's a beautifully done piece. It's a wonderful film. I was so excited to share it with an audience last night, and I can't wait for the rest of our neighbors and viewers to get a chance to see it. Congratulations on a wonderful film.
Thanks, Eden.
In Focus viewers can get complimentary tickets to a special screening. Details are on our Facebook page. Now we go to the Filmmakers Lounge to learn more about the 35th Starz Denver Film Festival from Festival Director Britta Erickson. It's only a couple of days into the 35th Starz Denver Film Festival, and I'm already having a great time. You must be having the best time, or are you exhausted? Which is it?
I'm feeling great.
Oh, good.
Things are going terrific. Opening night was just a really energizing launch to this 35th year, and we're rolling through, and filmmakers are here, and we're showing films. And
that opening night film was so perfect, not just because it was in the alley, but seeing it with an audience, because I had seen it as a screener.
Right.
And I loved it then, but seeing it with other people who love movies makes all the difference in the kinds of films you selected.
It does, and I mean, we are looking for those rare gem films that may not, play as well on your, big screen TV at home by yourself.
None of them ever really do.
I know, and that's what film festivals obviously are for, Eden, is that we are passionate about bringing audiences together to commune over film and, feel that tangible energy in places like the Ellie, where everyone's anxiously awaiting watching a great film with great actors.
Even in your new downtown location at the Denver Pavilions, it's a multiplex, but now the film festival is here, so I think it kind of elevates the experience of coming to the pavilions in a way.
I agree. I was just over there introducing a film, and it felt non-multiplex-ish.
Yeah.
Nothing against multiplexes, but
no, they have a reason to be. But
festivals bring a different energy and a lot more conversation and people standing in the hallways and talking. You know, you don't do that when you go to your typical Friday night show and
You
see
go
a
and
movie.
you hit it with your friends
Exactly.
or your family to
have a discussion. But
How did this happen? How did you get connected to the pavilions as your new outlet for the downtown area?
Well, as you know, we closed the long-term home of the Denver Film Society, the Starz Film Center, after last year's festival. It was our beloved home for 10 years.
Isn't it an exaggeration to say that was kind of sad?
It was bittersweet.
Yeah.
Let's say, it was a great gift that Starz gave us to be there for that long. It was lovely to be on a campus with student energy. But the Auraria campus still never quite feels like downtown, and I always felt like we needed to be back to our roots of our early years when Ron Henderson founded the organization, where we used venues scattered throughout the downtown, the true downtown corridor. So to be here on the 16th Street Mall is great. We're hopefully attracting new folks and tourists and
so was
people
it the
that
pavilions or was it United Artists? How did you
we
do that?
we went into conversation with Regal Entertainment Group to acquire theaters. We still wanted a central kind of hub outside of our Denver Film Center. We wanted to try to get 4 to 5 screens in one place to augment our 3 screens at the Film Center and our 1 screen at L2. And this made the most sense. So I started negotiations with Regal last January to try to
start that early, really. Like the film festival ends, you have Christmas and you start again.
You start right again, yeah. I mean, Sundance is kind of the start of my next year. But we needed to assure that we had places to continue to show a program as large in scope and diverse as we have in past.
245 films this year,
Yep,
am I right?
225 to 240. Yeah.
Something
I'm
in there.
hearing several counts, but that includes short films and different presentations. So, but from over 40 countries.
Wow.
To accommodate that size and scope, again in the 35th year, where we wanted to remain a robust film festival for this community, we went into negotiations with Regal to get these 4 screens here at the pavilions. And then we had additional conversations with the Denver pavilions, the mall folks themselves, to be able to use some of these other spaces here on the property to locate our hospitality over here. And as you are aware, our opening night party was here in this fabulous room, the Glenarm Great Room. So it's been really great. We've been really welcomed by Regal Entertainment Group. We've been very welcomed by the Denver Pavilions. We have been very welcomed by the Downtown Denver Partnership, as well as Visit Denver. I think the whole community is very excited to have us down here on the 16th Street Mall.
It really does take the Starz Denver Film Festival back to that urban sort of film festival kind of environment. It seems such a perfect fit. But there's other exciting news that we got to find out on opening night that the viewers will already know because I had to tweet it right from my seat at the Ellie.
Well, good.
So tell us some more detail about that. You have a new name for your new home.
2.5
million reasons for the new name.
We have 2.5 million reasons to be very excited for purchasing our facility finally. As we've long been lucky to have a year-round home and a place to put the festival and do our great programming. But we've never owned. We've always been in a lease situation. So the Anna
Which
and
is
John,
pretty common for a nonprofit arts
very common
organization.
for a nonprofit.
So
we have
really
great donors. The Anna and John J. C. Foundation, obviously longtime supporters. John C. was the founder of Starz Entertainment, which funded our building on the Auraria campus for all those years.
And your name sponsor for the film
And
festival.
our name sponsor for the film festival, yes, for going on 12 years now. And we're very in gratitude to Starz, but now we are forever beholden to the Anna and John J. C. Foundation for providing us with a $2.5 million donation to purchase our home that we've been at for the past couple of years.
In the Lowenstein Cultureplex?
In the Lowenstein Cultureplex on the Colfax corridor, Colfax and Columbine, and it has been called the Denver Film Center Colfax for the past 2 years that we've been there, but we've just rechristened it the Anna and John J. C. Film Center, and we're going to call it the C Film Center for short. So you should come see some things at the C.
I like that. And you're having a ceremony to rededicate it at the end of the film festival.
That is correct. So beyond the naming of the entire film center facility, we are also naming our largest interior theater after Anasi's parents, her Italian parents.
Who loved film.
Who loved film, and Anna loves film, and John loves film, and they've always been within the film industry. But we'll be christening that theater on Friday, November 9th, when we give the Maria and Tommaso Maglione Filmmaker Award to the Taviani brothers, who are coming with their new film, Caesar Must Die. And at the same time, we'll be cutting the ribbon and christening that theater that film is screening in, the Maria and Tommaso Maglione Theater.
I have to say that sitting in the LA, hearing that announcement, I knew it's going to be big, but that is so big. And I have to say, it was really kind of moving to hear them talk about why they were doing this for the Denver Film Society. There's no way to overstate what this means to an organization, but tell me what it means to those of you who work in this every day, the whole year, not just during the film festival.
It gives me goosebumps. It makes us all on staff and feel really, really good about the work we do, that it's so important to the community, and that leading philanthropists like Anna and John recognize our importance to the cultural fabric of this community, and that they've invested in that so, emphatically and so publicly, really kind of giving us a great public endorsement of why we should continue to exist for another 35 years, that our mission is important, and that we're servicing a community with something that they wouldn't otherwise have if it wasn't for the existence of the Denver Film Society.
And not just elite film lovers, film buffs, but you provide us with access to films that we wouldn't be able to get in this community anywhere else. Congratulations on another great film festival. I mean, we've already talked to so many filmmakers who are really having the best time, even though they go to film festivals over and over again. You and your team do a wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Eden. Really appreciate it.
It's the final weekend of the Starz Denver Film Festival, and we'll bring you more filmmaker interviews in coming episodes. But next week we go to the Vintage Theater for Kiss of the Spider-Woman.
That's all for this edition. Remember to join us on Facebook and Twitter. With all that Colorado has to offer, we're here to help you keep it in focus. Thanks for watching. Good night.